So the Mandela effect. Let me just break it down. The whole reason why it's even called Mandela effect in the first place. First off, what it is it is the effect of remembering something being one way and it actually is not, and that it's a whole different way. So, for example, one of the things, and this is the reason why it's called the Mandela effect, is because Nelson Mandela, a lot of people remember Nelson Mandela passing away in jail in the 80s, I think it was. Is what a lot of people said. Like hundreds of thousands of people remember this, like an actual event. They remember it in the newspaper, like they remember the ceremony and all that.
Right.
But he really died. Let me double check my facts here. And if y'all don't know who Nelson Mandela is, he was the president of South Africa.
Yeah.
So he passed away in 2013.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
December of 2013. But like I said, people remember him, and I mean tons of people remember him from passing away in the 80s.
Valid.
Like really, yeah. So that's what the whole Mandela effect is about, is the they say misremembering, but there's more to it.
That makes sense. Misremembering.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a time back in the day. There was a song that 50 Cent made, and it had Biggie in it. He sampled it, but it was a song with him and Biggie, if I'm not mistaken. But then when I get to like high school, the song is new. Like, no, I heard this song years ago. Like, ain't no way. It can't be. Like, no.
I wonder what song that is.
No, valid. I'm about to look it up.
Okay. Yeah, no, but you know what? That could be part of the Mandela effect.
Listen.
One of the big ones that people talk about all the time is the Bernstein. So I don't know if you remember these books with the bears, and there was like TV shows and books and stuff like that. But people remember it being the Bernstein Bears. I want to say it's the Bernstein
Bears.
Yes, that was the whole thing. Everybody remembers that the Bernstein Bears. Steen Bears.
Right.
But it's never been the Bernstein Bears. It's always been the Bernstein Bears. The Bernstein Bears. Yes, the Bernstein Bears. That's why, so they're like, well, how could that be? I specifically remember, and then there are people.
Bears.
Now, here's where the conspiracy gets deeper.
Okay.
People have found evidence of it being the Bernstein Bears. Like, they found old VHS tapes where it says Bernstein. So it's like, how can this side of the tape say Bernsteins, but the rest side of the tape say Bernstein Bears? Like, different things like that. So
no, valid.
That's one of the Mandela effects. Another one is, do you know the Monopoly Man?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you, let me find it real quick. The Monopoly Man, how we remember it is that the Monopoly Man has, describe what he looks like. If you can remember what the Monopoly Man looks like.
So he looks like the Peanut Man in a sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Similar. Yeah.
So like the top hat, the
Mhm.
mustache, the glasses, the cane, the tuxedo suit, Yeah, white guy.
Yes. So the Mandela effect comes into play because he never had the glasses. He never had the monocle. Never.
Right. It was the monocle.
Yes.
Valid.
The one. Yes.
Yes.
But that is not real.
What?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How, Sway?
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy because you're like, you remember it. I remember it with the monocle.
Yeah.
Nope, he never had the monocle.
What's going on?
You're like, I gotta go look this up.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, he never had the monocle. What's another one that will really? Oh, I know. What is it? Fruit of the Loom. Yes, you're looking it up right now. For those of y'all that can't see, he's searching it up right now.
Wow. And it's stupid
Yeah.
because one has a monocle
and one doesn't.
and one doesn't.
But when you go to the company says that he never had the monocle. That is a figment, just like the Bernsteins. It's a figment of your imagination. Yeah. And I'm like, so all of us are just misremembering this?
Facts. And look, watch this. Look at this.
Yep, Mandela effect. Yep.
Like,
so, yeah. And then
somebody put it out there. Somebody had to put it out there because it ain't no way all these people seen the same thing for this amount of years. And now it just don't exist.
I'll get into what my theories on the Mandela effect are.
Okay.
I got you. But let me do another one for you because I feel like this one really is gonna blow your mind. When you think of Fruit of the Loom, okay, like the boxers and all that stuff, the company.
Yeah.
When you think of the logo, describe, if you could kind of remember, don't search it up. No,
I'm not.
If you could kind of remember what Fruit of the Loom was, and thank you for TikTok people because they got some that they commented.
It's just like a cluster of fruit, like different fruit, like grapes, orange, apple, and all that stuff.
Is that all you remember? Just the cluster of fruit?
Yeah.
Okay, so for some of us, like me, I remember that it was a cluster of fruit inside of a cornucopia.
Yes.
But Fruit of the Loom company says they have never had a cornucopia ever. I can picture the commercial right now with the cornucopia. I remember the logo with the cornucopia. So, but they said that it was not. That never happened. Never happened.
I'm about to look up the commercial.
I'm telling you.
Valid. They used to have a dressed up as fruit. The people dressed up as fruit.
Yeah.
Fags never had the cornucopia.
Never had the cornucopia. And so that was one I was like, no freaking way.
No, valid. Like, what's going on here?
Another one is Sex in the City. So the whole thing is that it's not sex. Let me see. Let me double check. That the show is called Sex and the City.
Right.
But a lot of people again remember Sex in the City. And even I seen a video that this guy pulled out an old gift set that that his girlfriend had where it says Sex in the City on it. Wow. So there is products out there where it shows this, but the company is saying like that never happened. You're misremembering these things.
Valid.
Mandela effect. So and on a smaller scale, like somebody on TikTok said, the Kit Kat logo used to have the bar in the middle. Like if you search up Kit Kat, hold on, let me pull it up. Kit Kat. Yeah. So they are saying like that the Kit Kat never had the dash in between it. It never was Kit dash Kat.
That's valid.
Another one. Pikachu. Pikachu never had the black part on the tail.
Yes, he did.
I'm telling you, this is this.
Bro, nah. Yeah. Now y'all playing with my childhood.
That's why, like, it's like Yeah.
Yo,
Yep.
stop.
That Pikachu had the black part on the tail, but apparently Pikachu never had the black tail.
Nah,
Which is
that
crazy,
from
'cause-
his? Is that from his? What they call that?
His electrical
his
powers.
Nope. His transformation. You know how they evolve.
Right. No, they're saying that he never had the black part on the tail ever. Which I'm like, no freaking way. I watched enough to know that he had the black part on the tail. Like, you're not gonna tell me that, but no.
Yeah.
There's so many different Mandela effects that have happened. Now, let me get into the conspiracy part of that. So the theory or the idea of this is that, so you remember we talked about CERN?
Yes. Okay.
So in 2013, was it 2013 or 2012? 2013 or 2012, there was a blackout that happened. I'm trying to remember. Hold on, let me see if I can search it up. Blackout. Dang. So I'm trying to think of when the date was, but I'm pretty sure it was either in 2013 or 2012 that there was like this blackout event with CERN. And the whole theory goes that CERN, it has already, which is crazy because we talked about this last time, and I told you that scientific research has been done to prove the quantum crystals are real to be able to go back in time.
Right.
So this is something that they're proving as not science fiction anymore. This is not a theory. This is actual reality at this point. And so one of the theories goes that back in 2013, there was a blackout that CERN caused when they did their large I can't say it. Their collider, because it's huge. Like it's literally, it's humongous. Like the collider is huge,
right.
And it's just for one itsy bitsy atomic particle.
Just a little atom.
Yes, which I think is BS, anyways. But yeah, and so they're saying that caused a shift in time, which caused a shift in things being slightly off. Another big one is Shazam. Everybody remembers the movie Shazam with Shaq, with
yes, Sinbad.
Sinbad, thank you, with Sinbad being in it as the genie. But Sinbad himself has come out and been like, I never made a Shazam movie. I never made that. That was never a movie.
They pay him to say that.
Not only that, but they're saying that it was Shaq. Shaq is the one that did Shazam, and that we're just misremembering.
No, Shaq's movie was called Kazam.
Yeah.
Big difference. Shazam had Sinbad.
Big
difference.
But yeah, no.
That's crazy.
It literally, they said that it is not real. And then Sinbad went and do, what Hollywood does, and he went and made a fake commercial for the Shazam movie. I'm not even joking. And it's like, oh no, like this is not a real movie. Like y'all keep saying that there was a movie, but it's not a real movie. It never happened.
So now, okay.
Yeah.
They have a Shazam now with the white kid. And the white man.
Yeah. And that's for Marvel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between the storylines?
So the one that I remember with Shazam with Sinbad was he's a genie, and he gives this kid 3 wishes, and basically through those 3 wishes, like, he is very foggy. I remember the money part. I feel like I remember all the money that he got in one of the wishes, but then he realized, like, this isn't the stuff. Basically, it's almost like a ripoff of Aladdin.
Got you. Yeah.
Similar story arc, basically.
So similar to Kazam.
Or exact same movie.
Right.
But now instead of Sinbad being the character, it's Shaq. And so it's like, it makes you wonder, like, oh, and somebody corrected me. Shazam is DC, not Marvel.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the whole conspiracy, is like, that movie doesn't even exist, but we all remember this. Like
No,
we
valid.
remember it
And it's pictures.
yes.
Like,
yep. But
so
it's
what
not,
there was photoshopping this good back then.
well, that's another conspiracy, but you know,
Facts.
because there are man, I don't know if I should segue into that or not, because that's just a whole other ball game.
Talk your talk.
Well, just as far as, let me just wrap up with the Mandela effect, because I find
Okay.
it so interesting. There's even a movie called The Mandela Effect. It was okay. It was kind of like a little boring, I would say, but that's just me. I think lately with sci-fi movies and different movies like that, I want action. I don't know, I've been craving some action. Don't take that the wrong way. So conspiracy. But yeah, so it's definitely worth looking into more about the Mandela effect, because there's more. Like that's just some of them that I thought of, and then somebody said on TikTok, but there's so much more. And it makes you wonder. That was the second part I was gonna say. So the first part was about CERN and the blackout and the large collider, but the other conspiracy theory was, remember when the Mayan calendar ended in 2012?
Yes.
And it was like, oh, that's the
gonna
end
be
of the
end of the
world and all this other stuff. And yeah, you're putting the dots together. Yes, my friend. Yes. Yes. So another theory is that, like, 2012, that the world did end and we're in a different dimension or time period entirely. So the things that we're remembering is not even from our time period or dimension, as you would say, which if you watch enough television shows, anytime they go to the future or they go to the past or they go to a different dimension
and come back,
nothing
is the same.
It's always, nothing is the same, or things are the same and it's just slightly different.
Yes,
words are
tweaks.
different. Yeah,
just like
this person's a president, but this person was never a president. Yeah,
facts. Like Flash.
Yeah,
I watch Flash. I love Flash. Dope. But they time travel so much.
Yeah,
that it's like, dang, like how many times y'all gonna go and change? Mm-hmm. But then to see the time travel
camera
and thank you, mm-hmm. and then to come back and almost everything ain't the same. You still the Flash, you know, your team is still the team, but the commissioner ain't the commissioner. People ain't who they once were. You get what I'm saying? It's just that's weird. It's too close. It's too close. Like how is everybody noticing the same thing? How is everybody gathering the same evidence? You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
something is up, right?
No, valid.
And the crazy part that I find about all of this is I feel like there's a direct connection between music, TV, like in movies, anything in the entertainment industry, and not just like entertainment industry here in America. Like it's not just Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Entertainment industry, period, in the world. My grandma loves foreign movies and TV shows. Like she watches them all the time. We'll sit and we watched this movie on Netflix called RRR. I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's an Indian movie that is literally like 5 hours. I don't know how long that movie is. It's crazy long. Good movie. Word. I ain't gonna hold you. That movie had me on the edge of my seat the whole time because Indian movies, Bollywood is nuts. No, they don't have a limit on what they do. So, like at one point, I don't want to spoil the movie, but there is a part in the movie where he's literally fighting a tiger. Very interesting movie.
Okay.
And then they just have like special powers. Everybody in India has special powers in these movies. But that anyways, but the point that I'm making is that even in those movies, like there's still stuff like that you're like,
yeah,
questionable.
Valid.
The symbols and different things like that. But the American media, I feel like Hollywood, American movies and stuff like that, they're the big dogs.
Valid.
You know, so everybody else is trying to be like them,
Facts.
and it ain't real.
Quick segue.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Hollywood, do you know what Hollywood is?
Actually, yes, but go ahead for the viewers. I know
Okay.
exactly where this is going.
So Hollywood is supposedly the same wood that witches use to make their magic wands, right? But it's strange that they would put Hollywood as the biggest place for media, mainstream, and things of that nature.
I will take it a step further.
Yeah,
I don't want to cut you off.
Nope, you good. Go ahead, do that.
Not only is that the wood that they would use to make their magic wands, but also the holly, the actual the same wood can be used as a sedative. So it's a wand that puts people to sleep, huh? But we all woke, right? Big brain power.
Yo, all right. She just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And not only that, hold on, because I'm gonna take it a step further. Hollywood is, so even just in California in general, you got Hollywood, you got Los Angeles, which translate to, you know what the translation of Los Angeles is? Hold up.
We don't.
You, I'm about to hold on. I'm gonna make sure. Translation: Los Angeles is the angels.
Okay.
Or the city of the Lost Angels.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Which I find very interesting. I've never been out west, but I have heard there is some very interesting Babylonian structures out there.
Yep.
Especially in Hollywood and in those areas, which I feel like at a certain point you have to ask yourself, why?
Facts.
Why would you put a Babylonian archway with Babylonian deities?
Yeah.
Okay. Questionable.
Listen.
And then let's keep going. Hold on. I'm gonna just take it there since we already there, right? So we know what Hollywood means because we already said that. We know what Los Angeles means, and I just pulled that because that's just the city of Los Angeles. Like, I mean, come on.
Right.
But
valid.
And besides that, even when you think about television in general, what are you broadcasting on channels?
You're channeling,
okay. You're casting, because what does your TV say? Like, if you want to connect your phone to your TV,
you gotta
cast to it, right? Oh, I want to watch this channel. I want to channel this, or excuse me, I want to watch this channel. You know what I'm saying? And even just the thought process of your programming. Thank you.
Yeah.
Programs.
Legit.
Like, why would they call it a television program? Why couldn't it be like television?
It's telling you visually how to program. It's visually programming you. Yeah. So
I think there's a direct connection. There is a direct connection between what you watch and how you feel and the things that influence your life, and even what you listen to. Like, if you are, and I used to not believe this because the biggest thing that everybody talked about was, Grand Theft Auto. Like, kids are watching, playing Grand Theft Auto, and they're just killing people all day long, and they're running from the cops, and like, this is gonna have a psychological effect and all this stuff. And I thought that was BS. I'm like, it's just a video game.
Right.
However, there is a scientific study that proves that your brain can't tell the difference between what's real and what's television or what's movies or what's video games. So your brain seeing that, and you know how sometimes, like, if you watch a scary movie, you're anxious, right? Because your brain thinks you're actually in this situation. So when you're out killing people in this video game, it's like, it's a video game, but the feeling that you have is your subconscious. Your brain doesn't know that this is a video game.
Valid.
it thinks that you're really doing this. So then I'm gonna take it one more step further, right? So then you have to ask yourself, okay, so if my brain thinks this is real, okay, and my body responds to my brain. Right. So my body's tensing up on certain movies, or, I have certain feelings on certain things. Fact. Like if you ever watch, especially like people who watch, like, what's that? Oh, if you watch pornography, right? Or pornography, let me not say the word. If you ever watch porn.
How you doing?
Is he coming in here? Sorry, you guys. There's somebody staring into the window. Hello.
How's it going?
Hi. Yeah, we're kind of
we're actually in the middle of something right now. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great one. Conspiracies. All right. We're reaching the community, y'all.
Right.
But
yeah, so where was I at? What was we were talking about? Dang. Y'all help me. We just lost our train of thought because this man was staring in the windows because let me not say that.
You went here working.
Oh, you already
Let's say it.
The connection between the brain
and
what you watch.
Real versus real.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder, right? So if our brains say one thing and our body is responding to what our brain says, not that is it actually real, but then at that point, is it good for you? Like, is it good for you? If your brain, in your body is responding as if it's real, is it actually good for you? Like when people watch, that's why people who get pornography addictions, or people who just watch pornography in general get overstimulated because now you're constantly watching people doing these things and you're constantly getting off to this, that the real thing, it is not going to be the same. Valid. Or you need it more because you're you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if that can happen with pornography, why can't that happen with movies that are super violent, or TV shows that are super violent, or video games that are like that?
No, valid.
I truly do believe like there's a connection. I feel like even just for myself, I was just saying this like last week or the week before, I was literally watching like nothing but like dystopian science fiction movies.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it just was making me kind of depressed. Like some of the stuff I was watching was just kind of depressing. Like that Swarm TV show.
Oh, I only watched one episode.
Yeah, it was just too intense. Like, and it's not like intense in the way of like, oh, it's super graphic. Like, it was graphic.
It was graphic.
Yeah,
but it was just like
the feeling you was getting from it. It makes you. It made me feel like weird.
Facts.
On the inside. It
made
me
feel
I
was
like,
going crazy. Legit.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes. Exactly. So I don't know, like
that's real.
Conspiracy, or just something to think about. Even the music.
We stuck in the Matrix,
man. Because the music is another thing. Like people talk about the how music, hip hop music, rap music, and all that is tied to the penitentiary system. Like because now there's private prisons, which is just insane.
Yeah.
Like
no valid.
But that the music that you listen to can affect how you move and act in life. And I told my brother, because my brother was studying music, me and him, we like study these things. Like I really do study this stuff because I want to know the truth. I am I want to know the real, and I don't want to be exposed. Or if I know that I'm being exposed, I can control how much exposure I'm experiencing. Right. So my brother, he does a lot of music stuff. I don't even listen, to be honest. I like listen to stuff here. I'll put on the radio here, but when I'm at home, I listen to maybe some 70s music that is like, even that's there's still stuff that's questionable.
No valid. I actually love records.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I legit go to the record player, put the record on, and just rock out.
Yes.
Like
get that.
None of this music is stimulating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's something about the sound of the record not the sound like the music.
No, that almost texture sound.
Yeah, it just does something for me. Legit.
Yeah,
for real.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I would say just, but even as far as like just listening to music, if you're my friend Matt, I don't know if you met him yet. I think he didn't. But
he was on the show the other day.
Mhm.
Got you. Yes.
He is a engineer for a studio in Toronto. And
Okay.
so yeah,
Let's
he
go.
It's a small studio. It's nice.
Yeah, let's go.
So I think it's dope.
No, for sure.
So he's always working with people, and there's like, they're always trying to rap and do all this stuff. And he just is like, it gets tiring. Listen to people rap about like the same thing every day. Your mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like I think it's one thing to listen to it, but then when you start singing it, you start rapping the same thing back, just like right.
For sure.
When I was telling my brother, I'm like, you need to be careful because you're studying this, but it's also infiltrating you as you're studying it, and you don't think it is, but it is.
When I listen to like trap, drill music, anything like for too long, I legit start feeling like wanting to go around like just shoot somebody. Like somebody make me mad, I'll just shoot you, bro. Like, stop playing with me. Like my whole vernacular changes just based off the music that I might be listening to on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? And it's not done on purpose. It's just like, oh wait, where did this thought come from? Oh, the music I've been listening to. So it's dangerous, listening to these different types of music. But yeah, man. Yeah. It's nuts.
And that's, and it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, is it a conspiracy? Because now I'm gonna really take it. I'm gonna take it to the next level. So now if we've established you're getting these feelings from listening and watching these different things, what do you think the people who are performing and saying these things, like, where do you think they're getting it from? You know what I mean? And how is it affecting them? If
100%.
it affects me watching, if it affects me
just
listening or watching, then how is it affecting the people that's actually doing it? Valid. If you're acting out, if you're a person you're rapping, right, and you're just always rapping about F&Bs, okay, and getting money, and this is what you're constantly rapping about, like, that may be your persona, but I feel like after a while the lines become blurred. You can no longer say, well, that's just my persona. 20 years you've been rapping about that, the same thing. So is it your persona, or is that who you truly are? You know what I mean? Or what spirits are you channeling?
Valid. And another thing that I found is a lot of these kids that's rapping about shooting and selling drugs ain't never touched a scale, ain't never broke a brick down, ain't never touched a bullet.
Nothing.
Nothing. But you can sit up here amongst your friends and all these other people who may have to put on this facade and then possibly lose your life over it. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of we've heard it since the 80s and 90s, like local rapper killed, up and coming rapper murdered in the drive-by. We've been hearing this, you know what I'm saying? And for it to not change, you have to see the agenda. You get what I'm saying? That's put against not just the community, but the artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, don't write about that. Write something that they want to hear. Well, who says they don't want to hear something positive?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all just want to feed them the negativity to make it normal. And that's where the prisons that are like, where they get paid to put people in prisons. Now that was the whole thing, like the secret meeting that I don't know if you know about the secret meeting. A little bit.
So supposedly, I'm just tell our people that's listening. Yeah. Supposedly there was a secret meeting back in, what did they say, the early 2000s, late 90s, in that time period, where they knew that the prisons were going to become basically for-profit prisons.
Gotcha. And
that they said that the best way to help, like, The same people that own or have stake in the private prisons are the same people who own record labels.
Valid.
And that they realize that the music can change the behavior of the people. So how do I'm going to make money off of you for your music and your records, and I'm going to trap you here, right?
Facts.
But then at the same time, your brothers and sisters who's listening to your music, I'm going to make you or I'm going to push music that's violent and different things, because I want you to go out and do those stuff. Why? So that I can lock you up in my prison and make money off of you there.
Make more money off you.
Yeah.
Because, and what doesn't make sense to me, like, granted, you can get, the life insurance policy out on your artist, you know what I'm saying, and all that good jazz.
Yeah.
But don't you think you would make more money off of them being alive versus dead?
Depends. It depends. Like who was a big artist that passed away early? XXX.
Yes.
I don't know.
Tentacion.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I don't think that he would be as revered and as famous if he didn't pass away. And how much money, like a lot of these companies have made more money because they passed away, like Biggie and Tupac. I mean, that is, I really feel like that's just gonna keep going on. There is no end. So even though they're gone, the companies that own their masters, that own their name, that own their rights and all these different things, they have made more money with them being gone than they did when they were alive. Like, how messed up is that?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's sick.
And then the estate doesn't even get anything. So can you imagine, right? Your son grows up, he becomes world famous rapper, and I'm not putting this into existence, but things happen and he's gone too soon, right? And now he's only made maybe, I don't know, 5 mil. He's made 5 mil in his whole career. He made the label 50 mil. We'll just put it, you know what I'm saying?
Valid.
Now he's gone, but he left at the height of his career. Now the label, because they own everything, right? You yourself as the parent, you got your money.
Valid.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe you got a couple mil afterwards for insurance and loss of income or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But now this record label, now they're flipping that 50 million. They're flipping that, that whole image, and they're taking it and they're like, okay, we're about to make 500 million. Like, and you get nothing. Your son's still gone, but we're using his image. We're using, like, it's like a ghost.
No, valid.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, that's facts.
Even, have you seen the holograms? Like, they have the holograms.
Michael Jackson is wild, bro.
Michael Jackson hologram, the Tupac hologram, and Whitney Houston. So it's like now not only are they gone, but now you're creating fake replicas to still go out and perform and make money.
The unproduced music.
Yep.
That's wild. What if those holograms aren't really holograms?
Man, I thought about this also.
Like, what if they're like robots? Like a cyborg.
Like, I don't put it beside them, because there is, like, things are happening. Okay, how do they put it? The age of technology, like the way that so they talk about like the Industrial Revolution and how it made life move faster, or things happen faster. But even then, it was still like from the 1900s to 1950s. You know what I mean? Like, it was a jump, but it was a more gradual jump.
Got you.
However, the what am I trying to say? Early 2000s, okay, even just 2000 to now, it's only been 23 years.
Valid.
But it has, we are, you know what I'm saying? Like, the knowledge and the things that are happening right now are light years
valid
further down than how it was then.
So recently watched this video
Mhm.
where they were talking about nothing new under the sun.
Right.
But there's history, catalogs, you know what I'm saying, documents of electric scooters,
Yes.
electric cars.
Yes.
You feel me? Like
Yeah.
the little mopeds that y'all sit on and ride around through the hood. Done that already. So how far technologically are we?
See, now you really get into my territory.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
That's my bag.
how much technology can we replicate?
So,
Like, yeah, it's a lot of
there's
yeah,
something's missing, right?
Yeah, it's just not
Something is
adding up.
missing.
Like they put it out there, they give it to us, they take it away, and then they make it seem like it doesn't exist anymore. And then they put it back out there, update it, you know what I'm saying, put a new paint a coat on it, coat of paint,
Right.
and then call it new technology. No, they've been doing this.
Man,
Nikola Tesla has come
bruh.
on.
Electrical, what is it? Electrified air? Something, I forgot how he said it. Now, this kind of goes into the stuff that you, some of the conspiracies that we talked about that you brought up, like as far as the food and being grounded and all these things.
No, for
because
sure.
everything is connected. So Nikola Tesla, his what he was doing was creating products or creating ways of utilizing free energy, because if you go high up enough in the atmosphere,
Conduct some energy.
you can conduct energy. And like, this is an actual proven, like, it's
Facts.
real.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? However, the government don't like that.
Facts.
Not just the government, but just the leaders at hand, because how can we control you if you can get something for free?
Valid.
If you could grow your own food for free, if you can get energy for free, you can make products using those things that you're doing for free, basically, or trade or whatever. You don't need big government. You don't need these things. Like, they become obsolete. You don't even need a job, because if we have free energy, right? You can use electricity for heat.
Fact.
So you don't need, like, you don't, you know what I'm saying? Not only that,
everything.
Yeah.
Fact.
You can figure out what invention helps you to purify the water. You go get your own water.
Facts.
You don't need them anymore. So I think that it's one of those things, conspiracy. Okay. They don't want you to be a free thinker. They don't want you to be independent. They want you to depend on the system.
Facts.
Be in the system, depend on the system, and if you get out of line, we're gonna take you out, period. Out of the system, out of everything. You know what I mean?
They
but
want a system full of workers, workers, not thinkers. Yeah.
Because if you start thinking and you start doing,
connecting dots and putting stuff that ain't supposed to. Y'all up to something.
Yep. And it's crazy too, because even just as far as there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Oh man. So the whole thing with there's nothing new under the sun is when I think about the stuff that we have right now. Cameras, laptops, technology that we don't have yet that's already been done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I watch a lot of sci-fi movies. So, you know what I mean? So it makes you wonder, like, and every idea comes from somewhere. Where did they get the idea of Stargate? Where did they get the idea of teleportation? Where did these ideas even come from? Like, the guy who created The Sims. I love The Sims.
Yes.
My favorite game. I'm obsessed. But the guy who created it, he ain't a good guy.
Gotcha.
He believes in the occult and all these different things. And the whole breakdown of the game, like when it first came out, was that you first off, let me pause. The first thing I wanted to say was, He got it. He got the idea of a dream, the idea of the game in a dream, and then his house caught fire.
In the dream, or
in real life.
Whoa.
So he took both the dream and the house catching fire as like symbology. And then when he created the game, like one of the things that happens in the game is the first time you ever cook, sometimes the house catches fire, right? And I know that, you know, and then not only that, but when the game very, very first came out, where you can control people, it's all about life is in your hands. You can control life how you want to control life. You can play who? Play God. And it was, you know, and their very first commercials, they was the community before the community was the community. Not
gotcha.
Real, but like,
yeah.
Because in the commercials it was like, oh, 2 sim guys, 2 sim girls, whatever. You want to do this, is whatever. This is your game to do and play with life. That's what it was called. Play with life.
Wow.
So everything has a word. Like when you look, you dig far enough.
Oh yeah.
What's the origins of this?
No, valid. That's crazy.
Yeah. So and then even further from that is like, okay, simulation games in general, where did the idea come from in the first place? The very first simulation game. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah.
So I always, you know, even we was joking around about I keep thinking there's somebody there. The about the cameras, what was it? Because you had made a comment earlier in the conversation, and I was gonna say another conspiracy that I've been learning recently is like that paintings that we see, like the super famous paintings that look so real, and that even if you take a whatchamacallit, a magnifying glass, like there's even more detail, like and all these different things, and it's like, how'd they do that? Like, not that it's not possible.
All right.
One of the paintings is a very famous painting of a man and a woman, and does the man have, no, not that one. Okay. It's like a they're like in the 1200 or something like that, their clothing style. Okay. They're in a room, there's like a picture or something in the background. I have to find the picture and show you. Okay. But they tested the painting in real life, and that in real life the painting itself, the original painting, the paint coats are so thin, they're like, this is physically not possible to paint, because the coat, like they can see the actual strokes of paint. The technology that we have, we can test the strokes of painting to see like how many strokes of paint did you use to accomplish this. And they have like, there's a minimum, you know, like everything has a minimum to it. Wow, this I guess is so minimum. Oh, somebody said it now, that it's so minimum that they're like, it's physically impossible to paint this thin and create this. So I'm like, okay, the only other thing that could be so thin to that point would be a picture. Like you, like not, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's not, it's printed. Right. And so there's like these it's called microns, I think. Yeah. But it's like, pictures have a certain amount of microns and paintings have a certain, like they all have a certain amount of information. Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah. So it makes you wonder, did they have a technology back then that they were able to just print these pictures out? And what if, and not only that, but what if they were actually pictures? Like, and think about that. Think about something like the Mona Lisa. What if that is really a picture? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a painting, it's a picture. And that, you know, like, what if some of these, even the sculptures, there's a theory about the sculptures that we have 3D printers already. But everything that was in the past, this is why it's confusing. Everything in the past that we had is better than what we have now. And
yes.
Yeah. Because even
built to last.
Exactly. Facts. But where is the technology? Where is the technology that built like all this stuff? Facts. Like if how come they can't build buildings today that last like how the pyramids last? Facts. You know what I'm saying? Or even just other structures. What's going on?
What's going on? Yo.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
And that leads into another conspiracy. Yo. It never ends. It never ends.
It's just like a wormhole.
Yeah.
Like everything just gets sucked in and it's just forever. Like it's
because at some point, and this is what, like, I was just looking at this on TikTok. Somebody was talking about that in Russia, their dates in Russia is like 7,000 something, and they're like, oh yeah, the old dates on the buildings and stuff start with 7 because that's when the peace something was signed, or I don't know what the person said. I'm like, that don't make no damn sense.
no,
like,
it doesn't.
why does their timeline? Why are they in why are we
Ahead of us? 7,000?
7,000?
Ain't no AD BC before that.
No, they don't do
They
that.
don't go.
So, but it's like, okay, if you have multiple places in the world,
Valid.
keeping track totally different. So we're lost in time technically because we don't know when time actually, like, when is.
We're not supposed to be worried about time. Our purpose was not here to worry about time.
Yeah.
Our purpose was to make this place better. That was it. Getting old was not really a construct of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I hate it here. Like, I do. Like, it's crazy. Like, the fact, and this has nothing to do with time, but the fact that who was it? China and Russia are taking our currency away now.
Yeah.
So that just means they're trying to disconnect from us. Why do y'all feel the need to disconnect from us after so long?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like Africa, Jamaica, here I come.
I mean, and even so much so that, like, if we don't know when our history starts, we don't know anything about our past. We don't know anything. So whatever we're programmed to be taught in the education system, which, again, now that I'm older, I'm like, I think about some of the stuff I learned at school, and I'm like, yo, that was straight. I knew something was wrong,
Right?
but I didn't have the words to explain, like, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
How can I go up against a teacher who went to school for this?
So, the thing about the United States,
Yeah.
and the learning process thereof, and that goes from education on up. It's all indoctrination.
Yeah.
It's not education. You get what I'm saying? It's do it this way. It has to be that way, and this is what it is, and you can't question it. And if you do, you're crazy. No, that's not how we learn. You get what I'm saying? Y'all beating it over our heads rather than feeding it to us. You know what I'm saying? So
I would say this. So in the 1800s, there was, and I think I said this before, but there were these orphan trains. At some point in the North, I want to say, like, the North wasn't really inhabited like that.
Gotcha.
And so they set up all these orphanages, and they had orphan trains, and they was taking, like, train full of orphans to, like, and redistributing them. Sounds crazy, but you gotta search up the orphan trains. So in the 1800s, and like I said, like, this is also while slavery is happening, there's still orphan trains full of black children going into black orphanages in the North, that are educating them and all these different things. How does that fit in the timeline of the stuff that they told us was happening during that time period? If everything that was happening during that time was Civil War,
Right.
slavery, all these different things, where the hell these orphan trains come from?
Fact.
And why is there just all these orphans?
Where did the train come from?
Where did the exactly freaking exactly. And so it's just like, that's why it's like, I you have to question everything. Question. Like, Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Facts.
Be afraid of not asking questions and being told something that ain't real. Like, that's what you should be afraid about. You should not be afraid to ask questions, because you need to have an understanding. You need to know these things so you can know what is real, like what is the truth. Because
Facts.
what if all this stuff that's going on right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the conspiracy theories is like that there's gonna be a space alien invasion. Project Bluebeam, right? Okay. So, which 10 years ago, you say that they're laughing at you.
Fact.
Like you're a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I legit.
You're a straight up clown. Like,
Fact.
you believe in aliens, number one, and you think they're going to invade the earth, and like, oh, you're stupid. You watch too many movies.
We looked at the person with the tinfoil hat. It's crazy.
As crazy. But now you got the Space Force, and now it's been UFO after UFO sighting.
Facts.
So something is definitely about to happen. You know what I mean?
They coming back for us.
So it's like, you know, but see, now I think aliens are demons, because
Really?
obviously I personally believe we can't get out of here. Okay, we're all stuck here.
Got you.
Unless you are in heaven with the Lord, which nobody's there right now. Okay, that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
But we're here. We are inside our snow globe.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And so, and when the angels got cast out of heaven, once they left heaven locked them doors.
Fact.
Like they could. When I was reading some stuff. It was saying that they could travel back and forth at a certain point, but then when the fall actually like they couldn't come back. Like God said, "Oh, that's it. You all down there, and that's it." I truly believe, even just the thought of aliens is like, oh, they're gray, big black eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Just how would you describe a demon? You know what I'm saying? Like, forget the horns, forget all the red and the horns and all that. That's fiction.
No, valid.
When you truly think about it, what, like, just the eyes alone, pure big black eyes, that's demonic. Like there's something wrong. But okay, so now aliens are gray. They're either and there's not in all these like discussions about aliens taking people and people seeing them and all this other stuff. Like, it really boils down to a few different looks. You got the reptiles.
Facts.
You got the grays. You got the what else? The white, like like creepy white, like not like paint. It looks like they're paint. Like their skin looks painted white, super pale white. So it makes you wonder, like, okay, if you all keep seeing these things,
right? You
know, what's really going on? So, like, there's more to it. There's got to be.
So I seen this article where they were talking about in like Egypt and all these ancient like tombs that they're depicted green people, right? Then there's depicted brown people. There's never really any white people that they see in these, like, you know, the hieroglyphs and all that good jazz. But they put up some pictures side by side, and I started thinking, they depicted, I'm sorry, I didn't even. Oh, it's okay. They depicted aliens as these beings, right? Turned sideways.
With the big heads?
With the big head.
Yep.
Right? Now, take a second, real quick. If I took my hair and I wrapped it and I put it in the bun, from the side, my head looks huge. Now, if they are only able to see what's on the outside of, they don't see the hair,
right?
They only see a continuous flow of whatever it is. I put on a stocking cap. I look just like an alien.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, where did they really get this image from?
Now here's the thing. I agree with you. However, you know I love that however word. That's my favorite word. However, there are skulls that have been found where the skull itself is shaped like that. But even to counteract that itself, in Africa, in certain parts of Africa, they bind the children's heads to do that. Like that's a tradition. Some places. But where did they get that from to bind the children's heads up in the first place to look like that? Because there's a whole conspiracy on that too. I just don't have all the information to really dive deep into that. But
it's deep. Like
it's all like, you know, my whole thing, and this is my true honest thought. If an alien invasion were to happen, picture. Oh yeah, for sure it looks like you're an alien. Look at your chin alone.
You see what I'm saying? Facts. Like,
yeah. Because of the shadow.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't see.
You know what? Ooh, that's a good point.
You don't really see everything.
What if, right? We think about life on a 3D scale.
But there's 10, 12, 100 infinite dimensions.
Right. So what if sometimes the things we're seeing, like, it's equivalent of like us being on a piece of paper trying to understand a block in space. We can never understand it because to us we can only see one dimension.
I'm gonna send you this video. Okay. Yeah. It was a video of this young white boy explaining the dimensions.
I know what video you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. And it was like he disappeared after that or something.
Of course,
it's very much so possible.
They always disappear after they drop off. Every time.
So, but in that video, he was explaining like,
camera.
Thank you. If if we are legit, I want to say we're 3D objects on a infinite dimension. You know, dimensional plane, but we see 2-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm not a science geek, physicist, but like the way he explained it made so much sense. Because like, what if you're able to see, like being connected to your higher consciousness, what if you're able to see a 6th dimension, an object from the 6th dimension? Like, we're all on the same plane. There's just different dimensions within the same plane.
Like right now, there's something else occupying the space while we're occupying it.
Valid. Yes. Legit. So like, I just got
creepy. I know.
Crazy.
Yep.
So thinking about that, to for somebody to see a spaceship, like if I saw a spaceship right here, right now, just fly by, you'd be like, yo, you seen that? Nah, bro, I ain't see that. Man, nah, I'm crazy.
No, right. Because you seen something
that I didn't see.
I have experienced that so many times that that's why I believe. Like I'm like, you can't tell me I didn't just see what the heck I just saw. I've seen ghosts. I've seen what I thought was creatures, demons, workers, whatever. I've had somebody cast a spell on me and I've broken the spell. Like, and I remember these details. Like, I've experienced that. You can't tell me that it wasn't real when I've experienced it. So it's just like, you know, so I feel like it's hard because it's like you can't just, okay, here's a perfect example. There was a guy, and if anybody knows, let me know if you remember the name. I can't remember the guy. He was dealing with a situation where he felt like he was being gang stalked. It's called gang stalking, I think, by these entities. This is the thing that he was talking about. Like, these entities kept harassing him and basically making him like feel like he's going crazy, and that he had went to a church or so. And I might have the details a little off, but I will get to the point of the story. He went to a church. He met this pastor, And he said that something wasn't right with the pastor. Like he felt like the pastor was like one of these entities, like he was like a reptile or something like that.
Wow.
He wrote a dissertation. Like you have to read the papers that this guy wrote. Like he typed out a whole. This is what exactly happened because he went to court and all this stuff. Because anyways, he ended up shooting this pastor with like some high-powered shotgun or rifle in close range. Like you there, I'm here. Pow, 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 all to your back, fall on the ground. Like you should be, there's no way
that man didn't survive.
That you should be alive. Not only did he survive, he did not have no bullet holes in his back. So was the guy crazy or was he really that? And this is like a miracle story. Like
nah. Miracles, that's not. No, you still saw evidence that God had the nails in his hand. Okay, no, we're not doing that.
I'm telling you, these are things that happen. They don't want you to. I feel like if I have to blend in, right? Let's just say we were the aliens.
Facts.
Okay, and we have to blend in. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you believe that I'm a real human. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to know whatsoever.
No
right.
Facts.
If I have to fake die and come back as another person,
facts.
Message, then I will do that. You know what I'm saying? If I have to drink adrenochrome to, I'm just throwing stuff out there now. To do that, then that's just what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like it's just. I feel like once who made you feel that these things were silly or not real?
Valid.
Watching TV, watching the news.
Legit.
We'll have to we're for time right now. I know, right? It was getting lit.
Okay.
So you have, I guess, should we have a final
thought?
Final thought for conspiracy? Yeah.
Wake up. Up you wake. Wake up, people. It's time to see. It's time to realize. It's not better to stay asleep. Yeah, that's it. I ain't going too deep.
That's it. Because you'll just keep going.
Listen.
Yeah. I like that though. Wake up.
Yeah.
For me, mine is just ask questions. If it ain't clear to you, if you feel it's off, if you feel something is not right, ask questions. And it doesn't necessarily, like when I say ask questions, I don't mean to ask like physically ask questions. You don't have to do that, but question whatever you're being shown.
Yeah.
Especially on the news. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Always question that. Always. And that's, you know what? I can't even go into that.
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
News.
Yeah. Fake news.
We
love y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
We out.